What if I told you that the most successful people alive are not working harder than you? They are not smarter than you. They are not more talented than you. The only thing separating them from where you are right now is one tiny decision they make every single day. A decision so small, most people laugh when they first hear it. But by the end of this video, it will completely change how you think about success. Stay with me, because this one shifts everything. Let me tell you about Claire. Claire was a 34-year-old registered nurse from Cleveland, Ohio. Smart, disciplined, deeply passionate about helping people. During her 12 years in hospital wards, she had witnessed something no textbook could teach her. She had seen patients completely transform their lives after near-death experiences. She had seen people quit 40-year addictions overnight. She had seen broken marriages rebuild from the rubble. Claire believed those stories deserved to be told. She wanted to write a book. A real book. Something that could reach the people who would never set foot in a hospital but desperately needed to hear those lessons. She had the material. She had the life experience. She had a voice worth hearing. What Claire did not have was a single written page. Every weekend, she sat at her kitchen table with a fresh cup of coffee and a blank Word document open on her laptop. She had taken 2 online writing courses. She had bought a journaling app, a dictation tool, and a book about how to write a best-selling nonfiction book. She had done everything except write. I just need to be more prepared, she told herself. I need to outline the whole thing first. I need to understand the structure. I need to find my voice. Months passed. The coffee got cold. The document stayed blank. Her friend Rachel, a physical therapist who had self-published 2 books, finally said something that cracked Claire open. Claire, you don't have a writing problem. You have a readiness addiction. You're hooked on preparing to start instead of actually starting. That night, Rachel sat down with Claire and explained the principle that had changed her own life. Claire, you're trying to write a book. That's the wrong goal. Nobody writes a book. They write 1 page. Then another. Then another. The book is just what you call it when enough pages exist. What you actually need is the 1% rule. Claire leaned in. The 1% rule is simple. Every single day, you do not try to be great. You do not try to be ready. You just try to be 1% better than you were yesterday. That's it. 1%. Claire shook her head. That sounds too small to matter. Rachel smiled. That's exactly what I said. Let me show you why you're wrong. Reason 1, compound growth is invisible until it isn't. A mathematician at the University of London published research showing that if you improve just 1% per day for 1 year, you will be 37 times better by December 31st than you were on January 1st, 37 times. Not 37% better. 37 times better. The math is not motivational fluff, it is exponential reality. The problem is that 1% progress on any given Tuesday looks like nothing. It feels like nothing. So people stop. They never see the curve. Reason 2, small wins rewire your brain. Neuroscience has a term for it, the progress loop. Each time your brain registers a completed action, no matter how small, it releases a small amount of dopamine. That dopamine does not just make you feel good. It makes you want to do it again. Perfectionism, on the other hand, releases nothing, because in a perfectionist's mind, nothing is ever finished. The 1% rule feeds your brain exactly what it needs to build genuine momentum. Reason 3, identity follows action. Most people wait until they feel like a writer before they write. They wait until they feel like an entrepreneur before they build. But psychology tells us the opposite is true. You do not think your way into a new identity. You act your way into it. 1% of effort, repeated daily, slowly rewires who you believe you are. Claire was not waiting for a book. She was waiting to believe she was a writer. 1% a day would give her that. The next morning, Claire opened her laptop. No courses. No outlining. No preparing. She typed one sentence. Then another. After 20 minutes, she had written 210 words. They were not perfect words. But they were real words, words that had not existed the day before. Day 2, 230 words. A little sharper. A little more confident. Day 7, she had written over 1,500 words and realized she had accidentally outlined her entire first chapter. 3 months later, Claire had 28,000 words, roughly half a book, sitting on her hard drive. Not because she had a magical weekend of inspiration. Not because she finally felt ready. But because she showed up every morning and asked herself one question: how can I be just 1% better today than I was yesterday? 6 months after her conversation with Rachel, Claire held a printed manuscript in her hands. Her book existed because she stopped trying to write it all at once, and started trusting that 1% was always enough. The mountain in front of you is not the problem. Trying to climb it all today is. 1%. Every day. That is the only rule you need. If this video shifted something in you, hit that like button right now, not because I need it, but because that one click is your first 1% of the day. Drop a comment below. What is the one thing you are committing your 1% to today? I read every single one. Share this with someone in your life who is stuck at the starting line. They may need this exact message today. And subscribe, because every week, I bring you real, simple principles that actually move your life forward. No noise. No fluff. Just the stuff that works. You already know what your 1% is. Go do it.